Hello everyone, welcome in today's War Thunder video. It won't be a gameplay as usual, but a guide how to create your own custom user skins. First of all, what are user skins? War Thunder, there are several ways in which you can customize your tank. You have decals, decorators and camouflage. All these three things will show up both for you and for other players in the game in replays. You can customize your tank in this way, making it visible for everyone. But there is a thing called user skin. User skins can give you complete freedom on customizing your tank, replacing every color on every part of it, on tracks, on heals, cannon, etc. But with this little detail that user skins are not visible for other players. When you apply user skin, it's visible only to you and it won't show up on replays or so on. There is a good reason for it, but nevertheless using user skin is a great way to customize your tank, to make it look more appealing to you and to make your game more enjoyable. But now you will ask, why? Why create yet another custom user skin video if YouTube is full of them? Well, the thing is that if you create user skin using one of these popular methods where you get a DDS file, decompose layers to RGBA, then combine back to RGBA and replace everything, the skin will cover whole part of tank. What I mean? This is a custom skin I created with the standard method using DDS files. All I wanted was to place this little D on top of my tank. If I prepare my custom user skin this way, when I apply it in game, customize template M4 Shaman, the skin will cover whole turret, whole part of tank, and in result, if later I want to apply one of the pre-made decals on it, you can see it's not showing up at all. It's hidden under my skin, and even if it will show normally to other players, I can see it at all. It's completely ruined. This is part without user skin. I applied user skin only on turret. So my method of creating user skin will not only allow you to create all your own decorations like I just did on my tank, but at the same time, see, there is a logo on top too, but at the same time you will be able to make use of in-game decoration like decals, and they will be showing up normally, still on top of your user skin. This way, not only tank can look cool for others with in-game decals, but you can combine your own decorations from user skin with in-game prepared stuff. Okay, before we begin, let's see what kind of programs we will need. First of all, War Thunder CDK. We'll be using it to extract some of the default textures, images from Gimp files. We'll be using the newest version from March 16. All links will be included in video description. Next, the most important, Gimp editing software for editing our images, our skins. It's free for everyone, you can download it, use it all you want. It's really powerful, and we'll be using the newest version 2.10.4, newest for today of course. Next thing, we'll need a DDS plugin for Gimp to open original game textures. The newest version 3.0.1, it works with newest Gimp, so there is no problem. Once you download it, it has a dds.exe file inside. You have to copy that file into your Gimp folder. By default it's gimp2 lib gimp 2.0 plugins, and here we drop our dds.exe plugin. And last but not least, we will have a Notepad++ software for editing text files. It's not necessary, it's completely optional. You can go on with using a standard Windows file editor, the standard Notepad. Oh, and one more thing. When we are working with War Thunder CDK, it's good to install it into the game directory. By default, it's this folder where we have all the exec, the launcher, etc. And depending on client you use or platform, the installation folder might vary. For Steam games, it's disk you install it. Then we have Steam apps, common War Thunder, and here we install the CDK. Okay, now let's begin customization process. First we begin with generating sample files for our tank. We'll select it, go to customization, and then create a user skin sample files in the game folder. Yes, we have confirmation and it's done. If we follow the path to our game directory, we can see a folder called user skins, and here is the new template file created just now. Inside we have all the files, TJ files with textures, and a simple text script that tells the game which kind of texture replace with our custom file. If we open one of them, let's say turret TGA, of course we'll open it with no GIMP here. We have Irfan view. It's a sample file, literally there is only sample written all over it. If we apply that user skin to the game, we can see it's being placed all over our tank. On the turret, from the turret file, on the gun here from the appropriate file, and we have a body file for rest of our tank. It literally puts what it is in this file. So next step is to simply open one of these files in Gimp. Here we have Gimp, our previous skin, we don't need it anymore. Let's begin with customizing the turret. We can just drag and drop the file into Gimp. It will be supported right away. We have now turret texture opened in Gimp. For now we can delete the rest of them because we won't need them anymore. And let's clean everything up here that we won't necessarily need. So this here is an empty canvas. This is where we create our custom skin with anything we want. For this example, I will be doing a bit of shameless advertising because I will be customizing my tank with my custom channel skin that I use on YouTube and many other services. Let's shrink it down. Okay, and let's place it anywhere here. At this moment I will save my skin, override the M4 Sherman Late Turret GA file. That's right. And when we go back to templates, we will open this Sherman BLK file. With Notepad++, I have this option edit with Notepad, but normally if you don't have this program, you will be using the Windows Open with and select the notepad. Inside here we have a set of directives that tell the game what to do with each of the skins. We will be customizing only and only our turret. Of course, if you want to customize other parts of tank, you will be leaving appropriate entry in here. We will be leaving everything just the way it is. Let's confirm changes and go back to game. So what I did, I deleted all other files, then left the turret skin and placed my logo on top of it, removing all the sample text. Once we refresh game, we can see my custom logo appeared on tank, but it's in bad place. It's not really visible well. Why? Because I simply have no idea where to place it inside my custom skin file. You see, the way game textures work is that even if this turret is 3D shape, 3D model, its texture is all flat. It's like the turret is being unfolded into flat image, and then depending where we place our custom image in the texture, it will appear on different part of the game model, the tank turret, and it's the game that decides which part of texture to display on which part of the tank. And to know where to place our logo and where it will end up on our tank, we will need the default tank texture from game files, and this is where the War Thunder CD games comes in. From War Thunder Assets Editor, we can launch it either by using this shortcut that it created in menu start, or we can navigate directly to our War Thunder folder, War Thunder CDK, and then launch the Assets Viewer CMD. It takes a while to load because it's scanning whole game folder for all the assets, all the models, all the parts, images, etc. And almost done. On faster. People are waiting. And there we go. Everything here is categorized into different folders for easier navigation. What interests us is the tank tree. It's present in root, game res, then we have tanks and USA GM BQ. Of course, if you are customizing tank from other country, we have separate folder for UK, we have some special folders for unique tanks, we have Germany, French, I don't know what is this, maybe China, I don't remember. Below we have USSR, 3 tanks, and from here you will be picking texture, the original game's texture. First of all, you need to locate your tank. They are all here placed, sorted by name, and from here you will be selecting appropriate tank part, the texture. It's important to pick the one that ends with C. So for our M4 Sherman tank, if you want to customize the body, you pick the M4 Sherman late body C. If you want to customize turret, you pick the turret C part, and this is what we are going to select. Now we are going to make sure that we are exporting it as RGBA. We will deselect the stretch texture option. Must be set to full quality, and these sliders will remain in default position. After that, we simply press export to DTS and select folder we are exporting it to. By default, it's in War Thunder CDK, and this is where I keep my original textures, but additionally I created a folder for each tank that I customize. So in M4 Sherman we will save our texture file. I already did it before, so files are already present here, we can override them anyway. You will do it for every tank and every part you want to customize yourself. For now, we will have it enough with only turret. Now, next step is opening the turret file in the Gimp. We'll navigate to the War Thunder CDK directory. If you don't have this location field, you need to click this icon, so you don't have to click through all the folders. Alternatively, you can simply paste all location into the Gimp, and from here navigate to M4 Sherman folder and the turret C DDS. We will open it. You can see the plugin works nicely. It can happen that a window will appear. Let me restart the Gimp again. That's right. So you can see exactly what to expect. So now we will open the location Wartun and CDK for Shepard, Sherman, and turret file. Oh yeah, this is the window load DDS. We will uncheck everything, including show this dialog, so every next import will be seamless. This is it. At the same time, we have to open our old custom skin that we have here. Again, it's TGA file. That's how we left it at. Now, this will show us where we should place our custom image on the texture to show up in specific part of tank. Now we'll do few steps that are exactly as the other YouTube tutorials. We will go to colors menu, components, decompose to RGBA and select layers. OK. Now we will copy the alpha layer. You can just select it and Ctrl C. Next we will go back to colors, components and compose again. Compose to RGB, no A this time. And then we paste our alpha layer and select, right click on it and to new layer. Now we will move them each under another, and this is the stock texture of our M4 Sherman, damn it, too much Mass Effect. M4 Shepard turret. Right now we can discard the other layers and simply copy the background layer, the combined RGB, and let's paste it to our custom skin TGA file as a new layer, move it to the bottom, and this will simply allow us to position our logo correctly, so it shows exactly when we want it. At this point, all we do is just customize it whatever we like. We can rotate it and move around. This is just a matter of how skillful you are in didnt, how skillful you are using Gimp. Yes, apparently it got a little bit out of shape, so I'm going to bring it back to correct dimensions. Now we will locate it somewhere here because we want it to appear directly on top of our tank. The tricky part is to identify which part of texture corresponds to which part of the tank. Sometimes it's straightforward if the tank is pointy and has sharp edges, but here we can see the turret is round at top, so we can see that this outline here is probably this part. So we will place our logo here. Next we will stretch it a little bit more with shift to maintain aspect ratio. And that's it. We placed our logo. We can also add some text. Let it be here. Yeah, let's put something default, my custom skin. White, bolded. Okay. Okay, I say that's enough. Now let's do two things. First of all, let's save our template file as XCF file. This way we can always come back to this file and edit each layer of the image independently without breaking our whole skin. And for the import, we will want to hide the RGB layer, the skin layer, and only leave our own custom elements on transparent background. After everything, we will pick the export option, and as we can see, we are exporting directly to the template folder. We will leave the name as it was with mod extension, and it's important to change the PNG to TGA as the original. We press export, and here we don't do anything and just confirm export. Now let's go back to the template folder again and edit our script file. We will need to point the game to the correct file name, mod. It's really important because if you misspell name here, the game will crash every time you try to apply your custom scheme. So change the name correctly. We will save it, close it, and go back to game. And now let's refresh our custom skin, and we can see now with help of original texture files we could place our logo on top of tank. There is text, there is logo, of course it's being covered by additional elements. This hatch on top of our turret is also present in the texture, it's here, so if you would want to make your skin really professional, you could try to replace this part of logo and move it on top of the hatch, but it requires a lot of skill, so let's say leave it for another time. And now, most important part, just as I promised you, with this method we can still apply our custom decals on top of tank. You can see that the part of turret that was all transparent in the Gimp. Let's see, the nearly majority of it is also transparent in the game, so any custom decal we will place, it will show up correctly. See, it's not covered up by our custom logo. What next? Well, you might be concerned that the logo we just placed is really, it looks really artificial, like plastic, like brand new. The colors are vivid and it can look really weird. Using Gimp, you can make the skin layer half transparent using the opacity slider. If we export our skin this way, you will be able to see that all logo became transparent too. No, it's not that much visible, does not hurt your eyes if you were bothered with it before. And some people might be more satisfied with it, but this is not the end. If you used the custom decals before, you could see that in some parts of tank they are like brand new, but in others they are slightly worn out. It makes them look more realistic. Our logo, on the other hand, will always look like brand new. We can also make our custom skin look like it's worn out to make it more realistic. Okay, what we need to do? First of all, make sure that the main layer of your custom skin is stretched to the whole canvas, whole picture. To do it so, you select the layer, go to layers and layer to image size. Now it's covering everything, even if it's transparent and only small logo is present. Now let's remove the opacity altogether and go back to the DDS file we imported earlier. We are going to only select the alpha layer, the black and white one. Then in our custom skin, we'll right click on the main layer, add layer mask, the black for transparency option. And now making sure we are selecting the layer mask, not the image, but the layer, black one, we are going to Ctrl-V, Ctrl-V, paste the alpha layer and anchor it. As you can see, now our logo is worn out just exactly as every in-game decal or camouflage would be. If we turn on the RGB layer, we can see that it fits nicely with alpha layer added on top of our custom layer. You can also see the hatch is here, which allows us to move, for example, this part of logo on top of the hatch, so it displays correctly. But anyways, once we added layer mask and pasted our alpha layer from DDS file on top of it, we can again disable this RGB layer, leave only text and logo. As you can see, the alpha layer is not showing up at all, so it's all good. Now we will again export it to TGA file, and in the game, after refreshing it, you can see that now our logo is nicely blending in with the whole tank. It's a little worn out, just as every part of the tank would be when applying decals, and this makes everything more realistic. Additionally, we can go back to Gimp, and beside our logo we can fill it with some green color like army green, olive color for camouflage. We are working on our layer, and as you can see, using the alpha layer template, the color is not filling every part of tank, but only selected areas, to make it look like the camouflage is a little worn out. Let's export it again, refresh, and as you can see, the green pine started appearing in several places. And let's try to add our decal on top of it, and yes, as you can see, it's working. We can paint our whole tank in any color we want and still see our custom decals. It's really amazing. This is the part I was missing in every other guide, that's why I created it. Okay, I nearly forgot. If you want to customize your whole tank, the turret, the gun, the body, and other elements of it, when you create your own user skin sample files, previously I deleted them all because I didn't need, but if you want to customize more parts of the tank, you first create your own custom skins using these files as templates and leaving the names exactly as they are. This is first step. And next step is correctly preparing this ELK file. First of all, this entry will replace the whole camouflage, the US Camo Olive TGA. This is a simple texture with one color. This is the base of the tank. You can place a base color in here to anything you want, but if you don't want it, if you want your tank to retain the original camouflage, you delete it. Next thing, each of these entries will be replacing other part of tank. We can see it here is turret, here is gun, here is mount and body. Do not edit this line. From leaves unchanged. The only thing you edit is this part. Here you need to enter the file name of your own custom skin. If you used the same names as game generated files, you don't have to change here anything at all, only save changes. And last but not least, if you, for example, don't want to change something, for example, you want to leave the gun the way it is, you simply delete this paragraph, this set text from here to here, delete it, and now game won't do anything with it. Now we will be replacing only turret and body. You can delete mount too, and that's it. That's how you customize your ELK file. Save, and it's done. And at this point I think I showed you everything. Now it's your turn to customize your tank. Go wild, let your imagination run free, and make things look nice for you. Thanks for watching, I hope you found it really helpful, and if you still don't know something wasn't clear enough from my side, feel free to leave comments in this video. I will be answering them promptly. Again, thanks for watching, and see you later in the game.